Hi, we're going to do a couple of osteopenia and osteoporosis exercises sitting on a chair. And I have a couple of props here that, if you have them available, will be really great to use. One of them is a little stick. And if you don't have a stick available, a broomstick or a mop stick is really great just to find out where you're at. And another thing that's really valuable is a small ball. And this one's about 7 inches. Um, Around if you have 7 to 9 inches. These can be easily attained at someplace like Target. Now, if you don't have a small ball available and you want to try these, a bath towel rolled up is also very good. We'll put our stick down for right now, and we'll have a seat in a chair. And you want to sit kind of far back in the chair. Now, you want to have a chair so that your feet can be grounded on the ground. And if your legs are a little bit shorter, maybe use a couple of books to really ground the feet onto the floor. We're going to take the ball into the upper back area. And you want to slide your hips back, but still keep your feet grounded. And then the ball is going to go right between your shoulder blades, and so that you're very tall here. Now, one of the things we want to work on, particularly with osteopenia and osteoporosis, is back extension exercises. Particularly if you have a rounded upper back, this will be fantastic for strengthening your spine as well as lengthening. And it's very safe to go into back extension exercises. What we want to avoid in osteopenia and osteoporosis is loaded flexion exercises. This puts a lot of strain on your spine, and you want to avoid that. But lifting tall and going backwards is fantastic for your spine, and it'll be really great over time. Now, first of all, what we need is strong abdominals. So here, take your hands onto your abdomen, take a big inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, pull in your abdominals and tighten up your abdominal wall. And take another breath there. Inhale, try to keep your abdominals connected on that inhale, and then exhale to contract your abdominals. So I'll be cueing you to connect through the abdominals over time. Um, Now, what we want to do is take both hands back behind your head. And if that isn't available or your shoulders are a little bit sore in that position, then you can do this with your arms down. But I'm going to show you with the hands back behind the head. Now, another thing you want to avoid is the chin coming forward. And so you want to tuck the chin in so you feel that length in the back of the neck. Intertwine your fingers behind your head and think of taking the thumbs right underneath your skull, and you can traction your head out of your neck, pressing the head into the hands gently. Now we're going to inhale, prepare. On the exhale, contract your abdominals and fold your body back up over the ball. So think of lifting the breastbone towards the ceiling, supporting the head. Take an inhale here, stay. And then exhale, contract your abdominals and come back up to that upright position without pulling on the head. So think of the head as kind of a dead weight and you're just supporting it, and then moving from your abdomen. Take an inhale here, exhale, contract your abdominals and fold back over the ball. Take an inhale here and exhale. Now you go back as far as you feel. If it feels good, it actually should feel really good. It's a nice stretch, particularly for the front of the body, and it should feel good on your spine. If it doesn't, just go back to a place that's appropriate for you. We're going to do 3 more here. Inhale, exhale, contract your abdominals and fold back over the ball. Take an inhale and exhale. Can keep your abdominals working as you're going through this. Take an inhale here and exhale up and over the ball. Take an inhale, exhale, pulling yourself up. And I say pulling yourself up, you're pulling yourself up with your abdominals, not your hands. Yeah, your hands are just there supporting your head. Now let's take 2 more here. Inhale and exhale. Think of lifting your breastbone or your sternum towards the ceiling. Good. You're kind of looking up as well without straining your neck. Take an inhale. Keep your abs really strong, lifting back to that upright position. And we'll do 1 more. Inhale and exhale, folding back up over the ball. Take an inhale and exhale, lifting back up to that upright position. Now, if it was hard for you to get your hands back behind your head, perhaps your shoulders are a little bit folded forward here and getting up is painful for you, and no judgment on yourself. This is new exercise. You can do the same thing, just leaning back and just lifting the breastbone here. Just getting yourself into this tall position as much as possible. So doing those are really great. Now, another thing that I just want to talk you through, maybe just a couple of reps, is take your hands back behind your head if that's available, and then open your elbows. Yeah. Now, you're not going to be able to extend back very far because your arms are open, but this is more of a stretch for the chest and the front of the shoulders, which can tend to get really tight. Once again, tuck your chin in, pull your abdominals in tight, take an inhale, and exhale. Just lean back a little bit and open your elbows if it's okay. You don't want to feel any pain there. You just go to the point of, feeling a good stretch. Take an inhale and then exhale, come back up, and we'll do that one more time. Take an inhale, exhale, contract your abdominals first, and then just open up the elbows, leaning back just a little bit. And you can just do this in the chair as well. And exhale to coming back up to vertical. Really good. Hopefully that felt really good for you. We'll take the ball away and we'll put the ball to the side. And then let's grab your stick if that's available, and you're going to come way forward to the edge of your chair. Now, what we want to work towards is this really good posture alignment. And then a stick is really valuable just to kind of let you know where you're at. Yeah. So we're going to take the stick behind your back, and you want 3 points to be on your stick as we're going through our sit to stand exercise from a chair. And so with the stick back here, you want the stick, the bottom of the stick to be on the sacrum. You want the middle of the shoulder blades to be touching the stick, as well as the back of the head. Now, if you're like this, the more you practice this, the more that you'll be a little bit more upright. Also, if you're like this top hand may not go back comfortably and you may feel strain there. And if that's the case, just put this hand down and hold the stick with this hand. And then what you want to try to do is just keep lengthening. And the more you do this, the more your spine will lengthen out. Now, here's where you want to keep these 3 points as we go through our hinge. And then this is where how we stand up. Yeah, is through a straight spine, standing and then going through your sit position. If you can keep this hand on the stick, do that. If not, hand here. And if the stick just bothers your shoulders just get rid of the stick. Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to practice our hinge first, trying to keep our spine straight. The more you can do this in your sit to stand exercises, the more spinal health you'll have, and you won't injure your spine over time. Yeah, so keep your abdominals pulled in. We're going to inhale, hinge, and where you want to go towards here is nose over your toes. And then coming back. Because if you're here, there's no chance that you can stand up. Yeah, you got to get your nose over your toes to get your body into the right place. Yeah. So we're going to inhale, hinge, nose over your toes, and then coming back. Yeah. And then also try not to do this with your chin. Tuck your chin in. Let's go ahead and do 2 more. And then inhale, lengthen the spine, nose way over the toes, and then coming back. And then let's do just 1 more with a hinge, and then we'll add a sit to stand over the toes and coming back. Good. Okay, here we go. Pull the abdominals in. Keep that spine as long as you can. Inhale, nose over the toes. Now shift your body weight, pull the abdominals in, use your glutes, use your legs, and come to that stand position. Here we go. We're going to sit, yeah, nose over the toes, and slowly sit back and then hinge back up. Nice. And then if your feet are way out here, again, no way you can stand up. You got to get your feet underneath your knees. And then also the feet are anchored here. Here we go. Abdominals tight. Inhale, hinge. Bring your nose over your toes. Shift your body weight and stand up. Hinge. Reach your tail back. Try not to tuck your tail. So think of having tail feathers and you're kind of sticking your tail out. Yeah, so inhale, hinge, straight spine, shift your body weight, stand up, straight spine, shift your body weight back, have a seat, and back to that upright position. Let's do 4 more. Tuck that chin in, use your abs. Again, if the stick doesn't work for you, just get rid of the stick, but it's a really good tool to find out where you're at, and then also to really use your legs to stand up. Now, the stronger your legs are, the better it is for your hips, for your knee joint. Hinge. This is something we do all day long. Yeah, from a chair, from a car seat, always sitting to standing. Yeah, and you want to do this with spinal integrity so you don't hurt your spine over time. Inhale, exhale, push yourself to a tall position. Inhale and have a seat, coming back up. Let's do 2 more. Yeah. Inhale, nose over the toes, push yourself to stand. Bring your nose over your toes to start that sit, and then coming back up. Let's do 1 more. Let's get to a stand position and we'll hold this position. Good. And then let's go ahead. If you do still have your stick, put it down to the side. Now, another thing that you can do to practice here is just do half sit and up, and that's really good. That it's our squat, so it strengthens the glutes and the muscles around the legs. Yeah. So reaching your arms forward, and it counterbalances the hips going back, and then drive your feet down and stand up. It's so good for your glutes and your legs. Inhale, hinging. Imagine you still have the stick in on your back and you've got a perfectly straight spine. Tuck your chin in throughout and coming back up. Let's inhale, we'll hinge down. Exhale any amount, whatever you can do throughout the day. Yeah, even if it's a little bit, even right here. Yeah, it's such a good place to start trying to keep your spine straight. Work those legs. Stronger your legs are, the less um, less you'll fall and you'll keep your balance over time. Let's do 2 more. And coming up. And then last one here, inhale and exhale. Really good. Now, another thing that we want to do is strengthen our legs. And I'm going to have you grab your stick, and you can also, we'll use the back of the chair for a little bit of balance. Okay, so you'll have your stick in one hand and then your hand on the chair for the other hand. And then go ahead and bring your feet just right under the hips and look down at your feet. Make sure your toes are lined up and your feet are parallel. And we're going to do some heel raises here. And I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see, but go ahead and continue to face the camera. Yeah, so again, toes are lined up. Pull the abdominals in, engage your glutes, and now you've got that really straight spine. Think of tucking the chin in. So you're going to inhale here, exhale, rise up onto the balls of the feet. And you want to go up as high as you can here, bending at the ball of the foot, and then slowly lower down. And then you'll keep going like that. Engage your glutes, engage your abdominals, and nice straight spine as you're going up and down. So keep going like that. I'm going to turn back this way and we'll do 8 more. Exhale, rise up. Now you want your knees to be really straight here. So that you use your calf muscles. And the straighter that the knees are, the more you will be using your calves. Rather than trying to lift yourself from your hamstrings, which tend to be really tight. Yeah, so this is a great exercise, particularly if your knees are kind of tender through bending. This is a great way of strengthening the whole kinetic chain of the lower leg. And let's go ahead and we'll do 5 more here. And to lower. Exhale, deepen your abs on 4. Good. Keep thinking of drawing your chin in and sliding your shoulders down. 3. And if at some point you don't need a balance, you can lift the stick off and then just lift through the balls of the feet. Yeah, so this is another thing that you want to work towards is just using your legs to lift up and down. Let's do one more here and exhale. So fabulous to do throughout the day to really work on strengthening the legs. Now, another thing that we're going to do is work on our stride length. Yeah. And so over time, what happens is our knees tend to get tender, our hips and our stride length shortens over time. But what we want to do is try to really work on a longer stride length. In order to do that, we need length in the front of our hip. And so I'm going to show you a little stretch first, and then we're going to use that stretch for a lunge series that I'm going to show you. But we'll sit in the chair. So I have the seat facing the camera, and I'm going to sit on one hip. And I've got one leg forward, and then the foot is anchored. And then this hip is kind of just right off the edge of the chair. And I'm going to try to get this foot back far enough so that the femur here, my leg bone, is straight up and down. Now, what we want is to stretch this front of the hip out. This is actually a muscle we call the fountain of youth. So over time, this muscle shortens. Yeah. And when this muscle shortens, it puts a lot of pressure on your knee. And over time, that compression on your knee can actually grind the knee, and it really hurts over time. And so the more that you can stretch this muscle out, the better. Yeah. But of course, don't go to the point of pain, and just keep working on this day to day, and it will lengthen out. Also, another thing is you want to tuck your big toe under. The big toe can get really stiff over time as well. So over time, the more you practice this, the more you want to really press into that big toe and stretch your heel back. Now, if you're in this position or whatever position you're in, pull the abdominals in and then press that heel back, lengthen the spine and tuck your chin in. Good. So with that strong abdominal connection, inhale and exhaling. Now we're going to get a little stretch here. Take this hand onto the back of your chair, and with the outside hand, inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, let's go into a side bend towards the back of the chair. Inhale, we'll lift. Exhale, let's go ahead and lower down. Nice. Let's do one more there. Inhale, we'll lift. Exhale into a side bend. Nice. Inhale, we'll lift back up, and exhale to lower down. Good. So that's a really good one. Hopefully that felt good for you. Let's go ahead and switch over to the other side. You kind of scoot forward to the edge of your seat. Good. This foot is right underneath your knee, and you want to try to stretch this leg back as far as you comfortably can. Yeah. Now, eventually, we want to go back as far as we can, but at least straight up and down. Yeah. Bending at that big toe, stretching that heel back. Now pull your abdominals in, slide your shoulders down, and tuck your chin in and breathe. Take an inhale. Keep feeling your abdominals pull in. And here we go for our stretch. This hand is on the back of the chair. Take an inhale. Exhale, side bend over. This stretches the top of your hip flexor, kind of known as your psoas. Inhale. Exhale to lower. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, let's go up and over. Good. Inhale and exhale, we'll lower down. Really good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use that stretch for an exercise that we call lunging. And this is really good for keeping you healthy and walking throughout your life. Now, I just turned the chair around so I can use the back of the chair. And I have my right hand on the chair. And so I'm going to take my right foot back. Yeah? And I want to try to find at least 3 feet between my feet here. Now, the first one is going to be with my legs straight. So here's where that stretch comes in. With my back leg, I'm on the ball of my foot, and I'm going to pull my abdominals in. And here I got that really beautiful stretch in the front of my hip. I'm going to try to keep both knees straight. Now, inhale, lower that back heel down as far as you can. Exhale, lift that back heel up. Pulling your kneecaps up. Now, if you can't get your feet this wide and get the heel down, then just shorten your stride, and you'll work towards this over time. Inhale, exhale, lifting back tall. Now I have both glutes really working here, as well as my abdominals and also that straight spine. Let's go ahead and do about 4 more here and up. Good. So strong legs to support your back, support your hips and your spine. 3, and then really pushing through that big toe of your back leg. 2, keeping that nice and mobile. And now last one, I'm going to keep my back heel lifted. Inhale. Now like a piston, you're going to go straight down, bending both knees and then straight up. Now, if that's painful for your knees, just bend a little bit, just go about a quarter of the way down and push through the feet. Equal amount of weight onto both feet here. Inhale, exhale, pushing yourself tall. Inhale and exhale. And then eventually, we definitely want to go down as far as we can, tapping the knee if it's okay. Yeah, so you be the judge on how far, and you can do this and just lengthen over time. Nice. And eventually taking both hands onto your hips, down, and lifting tall. Strong abdominals, strong legs, and then you got a straight spine, tucking your chin in. Good. And let's do 3 more here. And lift. And 2. Big exhale. And 1 more. Down and coming up. Now push through that back foot to lift yourself all the way up. Really good. All right, let's go over to the other side. So left hand on the chair, and we're going to take your left foot back. And here we've got trying to find that big walking stride that we want to keep through life. Pull your abdominals in. You want to square your hips off, nice straight legs, and you're bending at your back toe as much as you can. We'll take an inhale here, exhale, contracting your abdominals and taking your heel down, and then pushing through that back foot to lift yourself up. Take it down and coming back up, finding your shoulders down your back, pulling your abdominals in and lift. And let's take about 4 more. And you can kind of test your balance here, hovering your hand. But if it's a little tricky for you, just have your hand on the chair throughout. Good. And we'll take 2 more. Take it down and lifting up. And then let's do 1 more here and lifting up. Now, like a piston, we're just going to go down initially a little bit. So just a tiny bend going straight down between your legs and straight up. Yeah, so you be the judge. Yeah, you don't want to feel any pain in your knees or your back. So you might be really small for a while until you really build that strength. Now, what really helps our knees is a lot of strength in your quads. You really want to build up the strength here over time. Good. And then just to give you the idea of going down as far as you can. And this does require mobility in your big toe as well as your knees. Yeah, good. So keeping the abdominals working here as well as the glutes working. And we'll take about 4 more here. And good. 4, finding your balance. And 3, really good. And 2, great. And let's do 1 more. Good. Excellent. And then use your back foot and lift yourself back tall. And thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions on any of those exercises, please feel free to email me with any questions that you have. And thank you so much.